What if I told you that success is not something you're born into, but something you can choose every single day? What if the most important part of your day starts before the sun rises? Imagine if the hours before AM held the key to unlocking the life you were always meant to live. Now think about this. Every new day brings with it a whispered promise from the heavens. It's a sacred opportunity, a chance to rise, to build, and to become the person you're meant to be. But how many of us wake up and let the hours slip away, unnoticed and unused, like sand through our fingers? How many of us ignore our dreams, letting fear, distraction, and procrastination bury them beneath the weight of our daily struggles? You see, greatness is not a random stroke of luck. It's not reserved for the lucky few or determined by the wealth you inherit or the title you carry. No, my friends, success is a decision, a choice made in the quiet before the world demands your attention. And those who understand this secret, those who rise before the noise begins, don't just stumble into the day, they own it. But how do they do it? How can you do it too? Every sunrise is more than just a new day. It's a fresh promise from the heavens, a whisper calling us to rise and become the best version of ourselves. But how many of us actually hear it? How many of us wake up, let the hours slip away, and drift into another ordinary day, one where our dreams get buried by distractions or put on hold by our fears? The reality is, many of us sleep through our potential. We hit the snooze button not just on our alarm clock, but on the things that truly matter in life, our passions, our goals, our calling, and in doing so, we let precious time slip through our fingers day after day. But here's the thing, success is not a random occurrence. It's not something that only the lucky or the privileged experience. Success is the result of consistent, small actions that are taken before the world even begins to make its demands. Picture this. While most of the world is still asleep, the most successful people are already up. They're not waiting for life to happen to them. They're creating it. They're leading their day instead of reacting to it. What if I told you that the first few hours of your day, before the sun even rises, could change the entire trajectory of your life? That by simply adjusting your routine and focusing on your personal growth early in the morning, you could break free from mediocrity and step into the extraordinary life you were meant to live? So let's take this journey together, my friends. Let's dive into the mindset, discipline, and habits of the most successful people who have ever walked this earth. Success is not about luck, it's about preparation. And the battlefield of success is won before the day even begins. There's a moment just before the dawn breaks, when the world is still, the streets are empty, and the noise has yet to begin. In that sacred silence, the successful rise not out of force, but out of purpose. They don't drag themselves out of bed as if life is a burden to be carried. No, they rise with fire in their eyes, with destiny burning in their souls. They understand something that most people will never grasp. Every single morning is a new beginning, a fresh opportunity to step into the fullness of who they were created to be. Now look around you. The world is filled with people who waste away the most valuable hours of the day. They hit snooze, roll over, and wish for more time, not realizing they're letting the most precious resource they have slip away, second by second. And one day, they'll wake up and wonder why success has eluded them, why their dreams never came true, why they're still stuck in the same cycle. But here's the question. What if today, right now, you chose to do something different? What if you decided to rise early, to take control of your destiny, and to make the first few hours of your day count? Let's explore how you can start building the habits that will transform your life and set you on the path to greatness. Ready to step into your future? The successful know that mediocrity is not an option. They understand that success is not something that simply happens to you. It is something you create, something you build, something you fight for. And that fight begins the moment you open your eyes in the morning. Think about it. When you wake up, you have two choices. You can choose to rise with purpose, determination, and passion, or you can choose to let the morning control you. But let me tell you something, how you start your day will determine how you live your life. The first moments of your morning set the rhythm for everything that follows. Your mind, your energy, your focus, it all starts with those initial moments. If you wake up in hesitation, your entire day will be filled with hesitation. If you wake up in fear, your day will be ruled by fear. But if you wake up with purpose, with a champion's mindset, then nothing, and I mean nothing, can stop you from walking in victory. Now I know what some of you might be thinking, but I'm not a morning person. I'm too tired. I don't have the energy to wake up early. My friend, let me set you straight. It's not that you're tired. It's that you're uninspired. It's not that you're lacking energy. It's that you're lacking purpose. Because when you have something to wake up for, when your heart burns with passion for your goals, you don't need an alarm clock to get up. Purpose is your alarm clock. Vision is your alarm clock. The hunger for something greater is your alarm clock. Do you think the greats, the leaders, the innovators, the history makers woke up only when they felt like it? No, they woke up when no one else did. They worked while others slept. They trained while others rested. They built their dreams in the quiet, early hours when the rest of the world was still sleeping. And that's why they succeeded. Not because they were smarter, not because they were luckier, but because they were prepared. You see, success isn't about having more talent. It's about having more discipline. It's about setting an intention for your day before the world has a chance to distract you. Before the emails, the notifications, the noise of life can pull you in 100 different directions. Because if you don't wake up with purpose, you will be at the mercy of whatever the world throws at you. You will react instead of act. You will chase instead of lead. And that, my friend, is the difference between those who succeed and those who settle. So, what does it really mean to wake up with purpose? It means that before your feet even touch the ground, your mind is already locked in on what must be done. It means that before the sun has even risen, you've already decided what kind of day you're going to have, not based on your circumstances. Not based on the things you can't control, but based on your vision for the life you want to create. Let's dive deeper into how this purposeful mindset can shape your actions and create lasting change. Success is not some random stroke of luck. It's a decision. It's a direct result of how you choose to spend the first hours of your day. It's about how you set the tone from the moment your eyes open. Here's a truth that might shake you to your core. If you do not take control of your hours, someone else will. If you do not command your day, distractions will take over. If you do not dictate where your energy goes, the world will use it for its own agenda. The news will tell you what to fear. Social media will tell you what to think. Emails and messages will tell you what's urgent. But if you, my friend, wake up with intention, if you decide before the world speaks that you will define your day, then nothing, I mean nothing, can shake you. Nothing can stop you. Now let me challenge you right here, right now. No more waking up and scrolling through your phone the moment you open your eyes. No more lying in bed, letting time slip away. No more waiting for motivation to strike. You decide your motivation. You decide your discipline. You decide your destiny. And that decision begins the moment you open your eyes. Because when you wake up with purpose, you step into a different realm. You move with confidence. You walk with power. You don't ask life for permission. You take what is yours. And that, my friend, is the secret to success. It's not found in luck. It's not found in wishful thinking. It's found in the discipline of your mornings. So I ask you today, how will you wake up tomorrow? Will you let the morning control you, or will you rise like the champions, the leaders, the warriors of purpose? The choice is yours. And that choice will shape the rest of your life. There is a moment in the early hours of the morning, before the world begins to demand your attention, when the most successful people do something that sets them apart. Before they check their emails, before they scroll through the endless noise of social media, before they dive into the pressures of the day, they stop, they pause, they center themselves in something greater than their schedules, their goals, and their ambitions. They take time for prayer, for meditation, for reflection. They understand a truth that many overlook. If you do not command your mind and spirit first, the world will do it for you. Too many people wake up and rush straight into their day, never pausing to align their hearts, to focus their minds, or to connect with something deeper than the chaos of life. They move from one task to the next, carrying stress, anxiety, and distraction with them, wondering why they feel overwhelmed, why their energy is scattered, and why their hearts are restless. They chase after success with hands full of busyness, but hearts empty of purpose. The greatest among us understand a simple yet powerful truth. True power is not about constant action. It is about alignment. They know that clarity is not found in the noise of the world, but in stillness. Before they face the challenges of the day, before they dive into the chaos of their schedules, they take time to center themselves in something greater than themselves. Some spend this time in prayer, humbling their hearts, seeking wisdom, pouring out their worries, surrendering their fears, and aligning their spirit with a higher calling. They understand that success without purpose is empty, and that money without meaning is worthless. So, they start their day not by asking what the world wants from them, but by asking what their Creator has called them to do. Others spend this sacred time in meditation, in deep reflection. They silence the noise of the world around them so they can hear the voice of wisdom within. They clear their minds, focus their breathing, and prepare their thoughts. They know that a restless mind leads to a restless life, so they take control of their emotions before their emotions take control of them. They train their thoughts to be disciplined, focused, and powerful because they understand that every battle in life is first won or lost in the mind. Still others use this time for journaling, writing down their intentions, their gratitude, their reflections. This practice allows them to begin their day with clarity instead of confusion. They don't let their thoughts wander aimlessly. They guide them. They don't let their emotions dictate their actions. They master them. They don't let life push them in any direction the wind blows. Instead, they set their course, anchor their hearts, and walk forward with conviction. So, what happens when you begin your day like this? What happens when you take the time to pause, reflect, pray, or meditate? You move differently. You think differently. You speak differently because you are no longer reacting to life, you are leading it. You are no longer being tossed by every wave of distraction or stress. You are standing firm, unshaken, unmovable. You are no longer letting fear and doubt control you. You are walking with confidence, with peace, with authority. Take a look around at the world today. It's filled with people running in every direction, exhausted and overwhelmed, constantly searching for something they can't quite grasp. They work harder, move faster, chase more, but still feel empty. Why? Because they have neglected the most important part of success, not what they do, but who they are. They have built their lives on sand, chasing external achievements without first aligning their internal world. They do not rush into their day without first preparing their hearts and minds. They don't let stress and distractions dictate their thoughts. They take command of their spirit before they take command of anything else. And that, my friend, is why they win. If you want to succeed, not just for a fleeting moment, but for a lifetime, you must learn this principle. You must take control of your mornings before the world does. You must start each day with intention, with focus, with alignment. You must stop letting external pressures shape your internal world. Begin every morning by grounding yourself in something stronger, something deeper, something that will not waver when life gets hard, because life will get hard. There will be challenges, there will be storms, there will be moments of doubt, fear, and exhaustion. And when those moments come, it will not be your skills that keep you strong. It will be your spirit. It will not be your knowledge that carries you through. It will be your foundation. It will not be your resources that save you. It will be your ability to stay grounded, to stay focused, to remain unshaken amidst it all. So let me challenge you today. Before you check your phone, before you open your emails, before you rush into the chaos of the world, pause, take a moment, breathe, pray, meditate, reflect, set your intentions, align your spirit, and watch how different your day becomes. When you start your day from a place of strength, you carry that strength into everything you do. You walk with confidence, you move with clarity, you operate from wisdom instead of impulse. You lead instead of follow, and that, my friend, is the secret. It's not just something the successful people do once in a while, it's something they do every single day. That's what separates those who merely survive from those who truly thrive. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, don't let the world be the first thing that speaks to you. Let purpose speak first. Let wisdom speak first. Let your spirit take command. And when you do, you will find that success is not just something you chase. It's something you become. Now, when we wake up in the morning, our bodies are asking something from us. They're asking for strength, for nourishment, for energy to sustain the demands of the day ahead. But so many people ignore this call. They wake up and reach for coffee before they even drink water. They rush out the door with nothing but a sugar-filled breakfast bar, or worse, nothing at all. They neglect the very thing that carries them through the day. So, how do you fuel your body for success? How do you start your mornings in a way that strengthens you from the inside out? Let's explore how to nourish both your body and spirit for lasting energy and clarity. Success is not only about determination, discipline, and focus. It's about the body through which all those qualities operate. You see, if your body is weak, your mind will follow suit. If your energy is low, your productivity will drop. And if your health is failing, no matter how ambitious you are, sooner or later, your body will slow you down. That's why the most successful people don't just feed their minds and prepare their spirits in the morning, they fuel their bodies. They understand that if they want to perform at the highest level, they must first take care of the machine that makes it all possible. Unfortunately, many people treat their bodies as an afterthought. They eat whatever is fast and convenient, they sit all day without moving, and they ignore the signals their bodies give them until it's too late. Then they wonder why they feel exhausted, why they can't focus, or why no matter how hard they push through, their energy crashes halfway through the day. The successful do not live this way. They know their body is their greatest asset, and they treat it as such. They wake up and hydrate first thing, understanding that after hours of sleep, their body is dehydrated. They start their morning with water, not just because it's healthy, but because it literally wakes up their system, fuels their brain, and prepares them for the day ahead. They don't eat just for pleasure, they eat for fuel. They are intentional about what goes into their bodies because they know that what they consume directly affects how they perform. They don't fill themselves with processed foods and sugars that lead to an energy crash before noon. Instead, they fuel themselves with protein, healthy fats, and nutrient-rich foods that sustain them, foods that provide real, lasting energy. But they don't stop there. They move. They understand that movement is life, and stagnation is the enemy of success. They stretch, they exercise, they go for walks, they engage in some form of physical activity every day. They know that when they move their bodies, they move their minds. They wake up their muscles, their joints, and their circulation, not just so they can be fit, but so they can be ready for the challenges, the decisions, and the battles that the day will bring. Look at the greatest leaders, the highest performing individuals, and you'll see a pattern. They make their health a priority. They don't sacrifice their well-being in pursuit of success. They understand that in the long run, true success cannot exist without good health. They have the discipline to care for their bodies, and in doing so, they give themselves the energy and resilience to thrive, not just survive. They understand that the energy, clarity, and endurance they need to go further than others comes from taking care of themselves. But what do most people do? They wake up exhausted, not because they didn't sleep enough, but because they treat their bodies poorly. They skip breakfast or eat something filled with sugar that gives them a quick rush but leaves them crashing within hours. They sit in one place all day, wondering why they feel sluggish, why they feel unmotivated, and why their productivity suffers. They reach for coffee after coffee, energy drink after energy drink, trying to force their bodies to keep going instead of properly fueling them from the start. And then when sickness comes, when fatigue becomes constant, when they struggle to keep up with life's demands, they wonder, what's wrong with me? But the truth is, it was never a mystery. It was a series of small daily choices. Choices that either build you up or break you down. The successful understand this. They know that discipline in their health is just as important as discipline in their work. They do not allow laziness to dictate their habits. They do not allow comfort to keep them from doing what needs to be done. They prioritize movement, nutrition, and hydration because they know that when their body is strong, their mind is sharp. And here's the secret. It's not just about living longer, it's about living better. It's about waking up with energy. Instead of exhaustion, it's about being able to chase your dreams with full force, rather than being held back by a body that can't keep up. It's about having the stamina to keep going when others burn out. Make no mistake, the road to success is long. It requires endurance. It requires resilience. And if you do not take care of your body, you will not last. So, let me challenge you today. How are you fueling yourself? How are you treating the one vessel that carries you through life? Are you investing in your health the way you invest in your work, your ambitions, and your goals? Or are you waiting until problems arise before you pay attention? Do not wait until exhaustion forces you to slow down. Do not wait until sickness steals your ability to work toward your dreams. Take control now. Start your mornings with intention. Feed your body what it needs. Move it the way it was designed to move. And watch how every other area of your life transforms. Because when your body is at its best, you are at your best. And that is the foundation upon which true, lasting success is built. Every morning, before the world begins to pull them in 1,000 directions, before the demands of life press against them, successful people take the time to set their goals, to prepare their minds and bodies for the challenges ahead. They do not drift through life, hoping that things will somehow fall into place. They don't wake up and let the day dictate their actions. No, they take control, they take command, they decide with clarity and intention what must be accomplished. Too many people live without direction. They wake up, move from one task to another, and react to whatever comes their way. They spend their days busy but not productive, working hard but not making progress. And at the end of the day, they wonder why they feel unfulfilled, why they feel stuck, why success seems so far away. It's because they never stop to define what success looks like. They never stop to set a target. And when you don't have a target, you will never hit anything. The most successful people in the world do not leave their days to chance. They start each morning by setting clear, specific goals. They write them down, visualize them, and see in their minds the victories they will achieve before they even begin. They know that if they do not tell their day where to go, it will be wasted. Think about an archer. If an archer were to simply pick up a bow and start shooting arrows in random directions, what are the chances of hitting the target? None, but that is exactly what so many people do with their lives. They wake up, start moving, start working, and start doing without ever aiming. And then they wonder why they are not successful. But the ones who rise above, they take aim. They are deliberate. They know exactly what they must accomplish before the day ends. And because of this, they move with focus, discipline, and purpose. Goal setting is not just about writing down a to-do list. It's about clarity. It's about knowing what truly matters. It's about separating the important from the unnecessary, the urgent from the distractions. Because here's the truth. Not everything that demands your attention deserves your attention. Not everything that seems urgent is important. And not everything that feels productive is actually moving you forward. Successful people understand this, which is why they take time each morning to identify their top priorities. They ask themselves, what is the one thing I must accomplish today that will make the biggest difference? They do not overwhelm themselves with a list of 20 things that will leave them exhausted but unfulfilled. Instead, they focus on the vital few, the things that will bring the greatest results. And once they set their goals, they commit. They do not allow distractions to pull them off course. They do not allow minor inconveniences to derail their progress. They do not wait for motivation to strike. They get to work because they know that success is the result of consistent effort and disciplined action. But what do most people do? They wake up without a plan. They let their phones, their emails, their messages dictate what they should do. They spend their day putting out fires, responding to other people's priorities instead of their own, and at the end of the day, they feel like they've accomplished nothing of significance. Let me tell you something. If you do not set your own goals, someone else will. If you do not take control of your time, the world will control it for you. And the difference between those who succeed and those who struggle is simply this. Successful people decide how they will spend their time. They set goals that are clear, measurable, and achievable. They don't say, I want to be healthier. They say, I will drink a gallon of water today and exercise for 30 minutes. They don't say, I need to work on my business. They say, I will make 10 sales calls today and follow up with 5 clients. They are specific because vague goals produce vague results. And here's the secret. Setting goals is not just about productivity, it's about power. When you set a goal and achieve it, no matter how small, something shifts inside you. Your confidence grows, your belief in yourself strengthens. You start to see yourself as someone who follows through, someone who takes action, someone capable of achieving great things. But when you live without goals, when you allow the day to pass without direction, you weaken yourself. You reinforce the idea that your time is not valuable, that your actions do not matter, that you are simply drifting instead of leading. Over time, this leads to frustration, discouragement, and a life of mediocrity. So let me ask you, are you living with intention? Are you setting clear goals each morning? Are you defining your priorities, or are you letting distractions define them for you? Do not let another day pass without taking control. Do not wake up tomorrow and leave your success to chance. Before the world demands your attention, take a moment, sit down, write your goals, make them clear, make them powerful, and then go after them with everything you have, because the people who win in life are not the ones who simply work hard. They are the ones who work hard on the right things. They are the ones who refuse to waste time. They are the ones who wake up with a mission, with a plan, with a fire inside them that cannot be put out. And that, my friend, is how success is built. Not by luck, not by accident, but by the simple, disciplined act of setting goals every single morning and relentlessly pursuing them until they are achieved. Success is not about luck. It's not about talent. It's not even about intelligence. Success is the ability to face the hardest, most difficult tasks first. It is the discipline to do the things that others avoid, to confront the challenges that others run from, and to prioritize what truly matters before distractions take over. The most successful people do not begin their days with what is easy. They do not waste their most valuable energy on meaningless tasks. They do not push aside the hard work in favor of comfort. No, they wake up, identify the most important, the most difficult, and the most impactful thing they must do, and they do it first. Why? Because they understand something that so many people fail to realize. If you do not take control of your time will control you. If you do not choose your priorities, distractions will choose them for you. Most people make the mistake of starting their mornings with things that feel productive but do not move them forward. They check their emails, they scroll through their phones, they respond to messages, they busy themselves with small, insignificant tasks, convincing themselves that they are working. But in reality, they are avoiding what truly matters, the successful. However, know better. They do not waste their peak energy on low-value activities. They understand that the first few hours of the day are their most powerful, their most productive, and their most focused. So they use them wisely. They direct their energy toward the one task that will bring the greatest results. They start with the hardest, the most demanding, and the most critical challenge of the day, because they know that if they conquer that first, everything else becomes easier. Think about the weight that comes with procrastination. Think about how much stress, anxiety, and pressure build up when you delay what you know you need to do. It drains your energy. It lingers in the back of your mind, stealing your focus, making even small tasks feel overwhelming. It makes your entire day feel heavy. But when you attack the hardest task first, when you confront the challenge head on, without hesitation, without delay, everything shifts. You move through the rest of your day with confidence, with momentum, and with a sense of victory that fuels everything else you do. You walk lighter, you feel stronger, you take control instead of being controlled. This is what separates the great from the average. The great do not let fear dictate their actions. They do not let discomfort stop them from doing what must be done. They embrace the challenge. They understand that success is not found in avoiding difficulty but in mastering it. But what do most people do? Most people, however, push aside the difficult tasks. They tell themselves, "I'll do it later." They convince themselves that they need to feel more ready, more prepared, more motivated. But here's the truth: later never comes, and the longer they wait, the harder it becomes. Now look at the most successful leaders, entrepreneurs, and high achievers in the world. They do not start their days reacting to emails. They do not let distractions steal their best hours. No, they wake up, identify their most critical task, the one thing that will make the biggest impact on their success, and they tackle it immediately. Why? Because they understand momentum. They know that action fuels motivation, not the other way around. They don't wait to feel inspired. They don't wait for the perfect conditions. They start. And by starting, they build the momentum needed to keep going. Imagine waking up each day knowing that within the first few hours, you've already accomplished something significant. Imagine the confidence that comes with knowing that the hardest part of your day is already behind you. Imagine how much lighter, freer, and more powerful you would feel moving forward. This is why the most successful people follow this principle. They know that the battle is won or lost in the first few hours of the day. They know that if they allow distractions, procrastination, and hesitation to creep in, they will lose control of their time. But if they take action, if they dominate their most important task first, they set themselves up for victory. So let me ask you, what is the hardest thing you are avoiding? What is the task that you keep pushing off? The responsibility that you keep delaying? The challenge that you keep running from? Do not let it linger another day. Do not allow it to drain your energy, your focus, or your potential. Decide right now that starting tomorrow, you will do it first. You will wake up and attack it before anything else. You will train yourself to take on the difficult with courage and discipline. Because once you master this habit, everything changes. You no longer live in reaction. You live in control. You no longer fear challenges. You face them head on. You no longer wait for success to come, you create it. And that, my friend, is the difference between those who dream about success and those who achieve it. The achievers do not wait. They do not hesitate. They take action. They do the hard things first. And because of that, they win. They do not rush blindly into their tasks. They do not let the noise of the world dictate their actions. Instead, they pause. They take time to reflect. They look inward before they step outward. Reflection is not just about thinking. It's about seeing. It's about looking at yourself, your journey, your choices, and asking, am I moving in the right direction? Am I being intentional about my actions? Am I growing, or am I just going through the motions? Too many people wake up and start running without ever stopping to ask if they are running in the right direction. They let the pressures of life push them from one thing to the next without ever considering whether they are truly living with purpose. But those who achieve true success, they do not just act. They think, they evaluate, they adjust. They understand that life is not just about speed, it's about direction. The greatest mistake people make is assuming that busyness equals progress. That as long as they are working, as long as they are moving, they must be succeeding. But movement without purpose is wasted effort. And without reflection, you may find yourself climbing a ladder that's leaning against the wrong wall. The most successful people in the world take time each morning to step back and gain perspective. They reflect on their goals. They assess their progress. They remind themselves of why they are doing what they do. They know that if they do not take control of their path, they will end up following someone else's. Reflection is not a passive act. It is an act of power. It's the act of sharpening your mind, refining your vision, and strengthening your resolve. It is a moment of truth where you confront yourself honestly and ask, am I becoming the person I want to be? But most people do not take this time. They wake up and dive straight into their emails, their tasks, their responsibilities. They let the outside world dictate their focus before they have even had a chance to center themselves, and in doing so, they lose control of their direction. Successful people do not let this happen. They carve out time, whether it's 5 minutes or 30, to reflect. Some do it through journaling, pouring their thoughts onto paper to gain clarity. Others do it in silence, sitting with their thoughts and letting their mind organize itself. Some pray, some meditate, some take a walk and let their thoughts settle naturally. But the method doesn't matter as much as the practice itself. What matters is that they pause, they look inward, and they gain control of their mind before the day begins. Think about a ship setting out to sea. Before it leaves the harbor, the captain checks the course. He ensures that the ship is heading in the right direction. Without this moment of reflection, the ship could easily drift off course, wasting time, energy, and resources. The same goes for your day. If you don't take a moment to reflect, you risk letting the distractions of life steer you away from your true path. Imagine a ship setting out on its journey. The captain ensures that the ship is pointed in the right direction, that the navigation is set, and that the journey ahead is clear. Why? Because if he simply took off without checking, he could end up lost, off course, or even shipwrecked. Life is no different. If you do not take time each morning to check your course, you may find yourself drifting. You may find yourself working hard but going nowhere. You may find yourself caught up in tasks that do not serve your greater purpose. But when you reflect, you regain control, you remind yourself of your goals, you reconnect with your purpose, you adjust where necessary, and when you step into your day, you do so with clarity, confidence, and direction. Some of the most successful people in history, leaders, innovators, great thinkers, were dedicated to this practice. They understood that their mind was their greatest asset, and they protected it fiercely. They did not allow the noise of the world to drown out their own thoughts. They made time for solitude, for contemplation, for sharpening their vision, and here's the secret. Reflection is not just about looking at the past. It is about preparing for the future. It's about asking yourself, what can I do better today? What must I change? What must I let go of? It's about growth. It's about refinement. It's about stepping into each day stronger than you were before. But most people fear reflection because true reflection requires honesty. It requires looking at yourself and admitting where you have fallen short. It requires facing your weaknesses, acknowledging your mistakes, confronting the areas where you need to improve. And for many, this is uncomfortable, but the successful do not shy away from discomfort. They embrace it, they use it, they allow it to shape them into something greater. They know that if they are not growing, they are dying. If they are not evolving, they are stagnating, and they refuse to settle. So, let me ask you, when was the last time you truly reflected? When was the last time you paused before the rush of the day and asked yourself, am I on the right path? Do not let another day pass without taking control of your direction. Do not wake up tomorrow and let the world pull you in every direction before you have had a chance to decide where you want to go. Set aside time, even if it's just a few minutes. Sit in silence, write your thoughts, ask yourself the hard questions. Because when you do this, you gain power over your life. You stop reacting and start leading. You stop drifting and start moving with purpose. And that, my friend, is how greatness is built. Not through blind action, but through intentional, focused, and disciplined reflection. Every morning, before the demands of the world press in before the noise of life fills your mind, take a moment to check your course. Successful people make a choice that determines the course of their day, their energy, and ultimately their success. They choose gratitude. They do not wake up dwelling on what they lack, on what is wrong, or on what they wish were different. No, they wake up and focus on what they have, on what is good, and on what is possible. They understand a fundamental truth. A grateful heart is a strong heart, and a strong heart is unstoppable. Gratitude is not just a feeling. It is a perspective, a way of seeing the world. It is the ability to recognize the blessings that already exist, rather than obsessing over what is missing. It is the difference between waking up and thinking, I have to go to work, and waking up and thinking, I get to go to work. It's the difference between feeling burdened by responsibility and feeling honored by opportunity. Gratitude is a shift, a powerful, life-changing shift that alters the way a person moves through their day. Most people wake up and immediately focus on problems. They think about what they need to do, what they don't have, what went wrong yesterday, and what they're worried about today. Their first thoughts are filled with stress, frustration, and negativity. And because that's how they start their day, that's how they experience their day, they go through life feeling weighed down, exhausted before they even begin, unable to see the good that exists all around them. But those who rise above, those who achieve success in life, start their day differently. They start with gratitude. They train their minds to focus on what is right before they deal with what is wrong. They begin with appreciation, knowing that a grateful heart is a heart that is open to possibilities. Gratitude is a force that rewires the mind. It strengthens resilience, making it easier to face challenges. It increases focus, making it easier to see opportunities. It elevates energy, making it easier to take action. A person who starts their day with gratitude does not move through life feeling like a victim. They move through life with confidence, knowing that every day holds something valuable, something good, something worth appreciating. Think about this. Have you ever noticed how two people can go through the same situation yet experience it completely differently? One person will focus on everything that went wrong, every inconvenience, every frustration. The other will focus on the lessons, the hidden blessings, the moments of joy in between the difficulties. And because of that, one person will be drained by the experience, while the other will be strengthened by it. This is the power of gratitude. It does not change circumstances, but it changes the way you respond to them. Gratitude does not erase difficulties, but it gives you the strength to endure them. It does not eliminate struggle, but it gives you the perspective to rise above it. The most successful people in the world do not have easier lives. They do not wake up to perfect days, free from problems, free from setbacks. But they have something even more powerful. They have the ability to see the good, even in the midst of difficulty. They have trained their minds to focus on what is possible, what is valuable, and what is worth fighting for. And that is why they do not give up when things get hard. That is why they keep moving forward when others quit. That is why they find solutions when others see only problems. So, how do they cultivate this mindset? How do they ensure that gratitude is the foundation of their day? Many of them practice it intentionally. They write down 3 things they are grateful for each morning, forcing their minds to focus on the good. Others speak it out loud, declaring their gratitude before they even step out of bed. Some spend time in prayer, meditation, or reflection, acknowledging all that they have been given. But no matter how they do it, they all make a choice to start their day with appreciation instead of anxiety. And here's the truth: gratitude is a discipline. It does not always come naturally. There will be days when the mind wants to focus on problems, days when life feels heavy, days when stress tries to take over. But this is where the truly successful separate themselves from the rest. They do not allow circumstances to dictate their mindset. They do not allow challenges to steal their joy. They train themselves every single morning to focus on the good. Why? Because they know that success is not just about what you accomplish. It's about how you experience life along the way. It's about how you carry yourself, how you handle difficulties, how you maintain your energy, your focus, and your strength. And gratitude is the key to all of it. Some people might say, but I don't have anything to be grateful for. They might look at their struggles, their challenges, their disappointments, and feel like gratitude is impossible. But let me tell you something. If you are alive, if you have breath in your lungs, if you have another chance to try, to build, to grow, you have something to be grateful for. if you have people who care about you, if you have lessons that have shaped you, if you have even the smallest victories in your life, you have something to be grateful for. Gratitude does not mean ignoring difficulties. It does not mean pretending that everything is perfect. It means choosing to see what is right in the middle of what is wrong. It means choosing to appreciate the small things, the moments of joy, the lessons learned, even in the hardest times. Gratitude is not just about appreciating what you have even as you work toward more. It's about refusing to let negativity control your life, and the best part, gratitude is contagious. A person who lives with gratitude spreads it to others. They uplift those around them, bringing energy, joy, and encouragement into every space they enter. They become a source of strength, not just for themselves, but for everyone they encounter. Think about the most inspiring people you know, the ones who radiate positivity, who move through life with confidence, who seem to always find a way forward no matter what. Are they the ones who complain? Are they the ones who focus on what's missing? No, they are the ones who have learned to see the good, even in the hardest moments. That's what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. That's what turns struggle into strength, obstacles into opportunities, and setbacks into comebacks. And it all begins with a simple choice: to wake up each morning and focus on what is good, what is right, and what is possible. So ask yourself, how do you start your day? What is the first thought that fills your mind when you open your eyes? Are you focused on your problems, or are you focused on your blessings? Are you starting your day with stress, or are you starting it with appreciation? Because the way you start your morning determines the way you live your life. Make the choice, train your mind, develop the discipline, and watch as everything in your life begins to change, not because your circumstances are different, but because you are different, because you have chosen to see the good, because you have chosen to live with gratitude, because you have chosen to take control of your mindset and step into each day with power, with perspective, and with an unshakable sense of appreciation for the life you have been given every morning. Before the demands of the world press in, before emails flood the inbox, before meetings fill the schedule, successful people prioritize something that most people overlook: movement. They do not roll out of bed and dive straight into work. They do not let lethargy linger in their bodies. They understand that how they treat their physical body directly impacts their mental sharpness, emotional stability, and overall success. The connection between the body and the mind is undeniable. A sluggish body leads to a sluggish mind. When the body is stiff, tired, and weak, it affects the way a person thinks, how they feel, and how they show up in the world. But when the body is energized, when the blood is flowing, when movement has awakened every muscle, something powerful happens. The mind sharpens, the spirit lifts, and a sense of momentum carries through the entire day. Many people wake up exhausted, not because they lack sleep, but because they do not move. They roll out of bed, sit down for breakfast, sit in the car, or on public transport, sit at their desks, sit in meetings, sit through lunch, sit through the afternoon, and sit in front of the television at night. Their bodies remain stagnant, and as a result, their energy levels remain low. But the successful understand that movement is not just about fitness. It is about power. It is about waking up the body and mind, preparing them for the challenges ahead. It is about setting the tone for the day with energy, discipline, and strength. For some, this means hitting the gym, pushing themselves with weights, challenging their endurance, and strengthening their bodies through focused, intentional exercise. For others, it means a morning run, feeling the cool air against their skin, their heart pumping, their mind clearing with each step. Some choose yoga or stretching, lengthening their muscles, centering their breath, and aligning their bodies with a sense of calm and control. Others take a walk outside, breathing in the fresh air and allowing movement to wake them up naturally. The method is not what matters most. It is the commitment to movement itself. It is the understanding that a body in motion creates a mind in motion. By starting the day with physical activity, they are setting themselves up for mental clarity, emotional balance, and sustained energy. Science confirms what the successful have known for generations. Movement releases endorphins, body's natural feel-good chemicals. It combats stress, it improves mood, it sharpens focus, it increases stamina. Those who move in the morning find themselves more resilient to challenges throughout the day. They are less likely to be drained by small frustrations. They are more alert, more creative, and more adaptable. They carry themselves differently, not sluggishly, not weakly, but with a presence that commands attention. Now compare this to someone who wakes up and remains still. Their body remains tight, their breathing shallow, their energy low, their mind takes longer to wake up, and when faced with a challenge, they are more likely to feel overwhelmed, fatigued, and discouraged. The difference is staggering. Movement in the morning is not just about health. It is about setting a standard for the day. It is about telling the body and mind, we are awake, we are strong, we are ready. It is about ensuring that the first action of the day is one of discipline, not passivity. The most successful people do not leave their energy to chance. They do not rely on caffeine alone to wake them up. They do not wait until the middle of the day to feel alert. They take control. The moment they wake up, they move with purpose. They strengthen their bodies to strengthen their minds. And here's something else: movement is a metaphor for life. When a person trains themselves to push through the discomfort of a workout, they are training themselves to push through discomfort in other areas of life. When they teach themselves to keep going when their muscles burn, they teach themselves to keep going when work gets tough, when challenges arise, and when difficulties try to slow them down. They build endurance, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. This is why athletes, leaders, entrepreneurs, and high achievers alike prioritize movement. It is not just about looking good. It is about being good. It's about being sharp, being focused, and being ready for whatever comes their way. Now, some people may say, I don't have time for exercise in the morning, but the truth is, no one has time. The successful make time. They wake up earlier. They rearrange their schedules. They prioritize their health, knowing that without a strong body, they cannot sustain success in any other area of life. Even those with the busiest schedules find ways to move. If they cannot go to the gym, they do push-ups, squats, or stretches at home. If they cannot run, they take a brisk walk. If they cannot dedicate an hour, they dedicate 10 minutes. They understand that some movement is always better than none. The commitment to movement is a commitment to self-mastery. It is a commitment to discipline. It is a statement that says, I am in control of my body. I am in control of my energy. I am in control of my life. Think about the way you start your mornings. Do you wake up feeling sluggish, struggling to find motivation, dragging yourself through the first hours of the day? Or do you wake up with energy, with strength, with a sense of readiness? The answer to that question is largely determined by one thing: movement. Imagine how different your life would feel if you started each morning with activity. If instead of rolling out of bed and into another seated position, you stretched, you walked, you exercised, you moved. Imagine the energy you would carry into the rest of your day. Imagine how much more productive, more focused, and more alive you would feel. This is the difference between those who operate at an average level and those who operate at an extraordinary level. The extraordinary do not let fatigue control them. They do not let sluggishness dictate their mood. They take charge, they move their bodies, they set the tone for their day with strength, and you can do the same. You do not need to be a professional athlete. You do not need to spend hours training. You simply need to make movement a priority. The truth is, every day you have a choice. You can wake up and remain still, letting fatigue and sluggishness hold you back, or you can wake up and move, activating your strength and preparing yourself for the challenges ahead. One choice leads to stagnation, the other leads to momentum. One keeps you feeling tired and unmotivated, while the other ignites energy that lasts throughout the day. The most successful people in the world have already made their choice. They move, they train, they engage their bodies because they know that their bodies and minds are connected. They know that strength in one creates strength in the other. Now the choice is yours. Will you wake up and remain still, or will you wake up and move, stepping into your day with power, clarity, and readiness? The difference between mediocrity and greatness is often found in the small choices we make each morning. Choose movement, choose strength, choose to start your day the way the most successful people in the world do, with action, discipline, and unstoppable energy every morning, before the rush of the day begins, before emails demand responses, before obligations pull you in every direction. Successful people do something that sets them apart. They take time to plan their day with intention. They do not simply wake up and drift into the morning, hoping things will somehow fall into place. No, they take control. They set a direction. They decide with clarity and purpose how their day will unfold. Most people wake up and immediately react. They react to their phones, to social media, to news, to messages, to the chaos of life pulling them in 100 different directions. They go through the day feeling overwhelmed, scattered, and out of control. They allow the urgent to dictate their time instead of focusing on what truly matters. But the most successful people understand a critical truth. If they do not plan their day, someone else will. If they do not set their priorities, the world will set them instead. That's why they take time first thing in the morning to organize their thoughts, clarify their goals, and map out their path forward. Planning the day is not just about writing a to-do list. It is about creating structure, eliminating distractions, and setting an intention for success. It is about making deliberate choices rather than reacting to circumstances. It's about identifying what truly matters and ensuring those things receive time and attention. Imagine a captain setting sail without a map, without a destination, without a clear sense of where they are going. They may drift, they may move, but they will go nowhere. The same is true for your day. Without a plan, you may find yourself drifting through life, unable to navigate toward your true goals. Without a plan, it's easy to become lost in distractions, to waste time on things that do not matter, and to end the day feeling like nothing meaningful was accomplished. The same is true in life. Without structure, people often never arrive at the place they truly want to be. Successful people do not leave their days to chance. They structure their time with precision. They know what they need to accomplish, and they commit to making it happen. They use planners, calendars, apps, or simple handwritten notes to ensure their day is productive, focused, and aligned with their long-term goals. This process begins with clarity. Before they schedule anything, they ask themselves, what is most important today? What tasks will bring me closer to my goals? What challenges might arise, and how will I handle them? They do not just think about what they need to do. They think about how they will do it efficiently and effectively. Some prioritize their tasks using the Eisenhower matrix, separating urgent tasks from important ones. Others follow the rule of three, choosing 3 major tasks to accomplish each day to maintain focus without feeling overwhelmed. Some break their day into time blocks, dedicating specific hours to deep work, meetings, personal growth, and rest. But no matter what method they use, they all understand this simple truth. A well-planned day leads to a well-lived life. Planning does not eliminate challenges, but it prepares them for what's ahead. It prevents wasted time, reduces stress, and ensures that progress is made every single day. Here's the key: successful people plan with flexibility. They understand that life is unpredictable. Meetings may run long, unexpected problems may arise. Not everything will go exactly as intended. But because they have planned their day, they have a structure in place to adjust, to pivot, and to keep moving forward even when obstacles appear. Compare this to someone who wakes up without a plan. They move from task to task without direction. They react to every distraction. They spend hours on things that do not matter, only to realize at the end of the day that they have accomplished little of value. They feel frustrated, overwhelmed, and out of control, not because they lack time, but because they lacked a strategy. The difference between success and mediocrity often comes down to this simple habit: planning, taking a few minutes each Morning to outline priorities, organize time, and set clear goals can completely transform the way a person experiences their day. Some of the world's most successful individuals have morning planning rituals they swear by. Oprah Winfrey takes time each morning to reflect and set an intention for the day. Elon Musk breaks his day into 5-minute blocks to ensure maximum efficiency. Richard Branson wakes up early and reviews his daily goals to ensure focus. These individuals do not wait for success to happen by accident, they plan for it. Planning the day is not just about work. It's about creating balance. Successful people do not just schedule meetings and deadlines. They schedule time for personal growth, for family, for fitness, and for rest. They understand that life is not just about being busy. It's about being intentional with every moment. Here's the reality. Planning the day is a discipline. It's easy to skip. It's tempting to think, I'll just figure it out as I go. But those who take the time to plan, to structure their time with purpose, and to move through their day with intention, these are the ones who consistently succeed. Think about the difference this one habit could make in your life. Imagine waking up each morning and knowing exactly what needs to be done. Imagine having clarity, focus, and a sense of control over your time. Imagine ending each day feeling accomplished, knowing that you made real progress toward your goals. It starts with a simple commitment, taking 5, 10, or 15 minutes each morning to plan, writing down key priorities, scheduling time for what matters most, creating a roadmap instead of wandering aimlessly, because here's the truth, time is the most valuable resource we have. We cannot get it back, we cannot buy more of it, but we can decide how we use it. We can choose to spend it wisely, with purpose and direction, or we can allow it to slip away, wasted on distractions and unnecessary busyness. Those who rise above, those who achieve greatness, understand this. They guard their time fiercely. They plan their days carefully. They live with intention. So the question is, how will you begin your day tomorrow? Will you wake up and react, letting the world dictate your time? Or will you wake up and take control, setting your own direction, moving with focus and purpose toward the life you want? The choice is yours, but one thing is certain, success is not an accident. It is planned, it is structured, it is intentional. It is the result of decisions made each morning before the rest of the world even wakes up. So take control of your time, plan with purpose, move through your day with clarity, because every great achievement begins with a well-planned day. And every well-planned day brings you one step closer to the life you were meant to live. The most successful people acknowledge the blessings, lessons, and opportunities that surround them. They understand that gratitude is not just a fleeting emotion, but a powerful mindset that shapes their entire outlook on life. In a world that constantly pushes people to chase more success, more wealth, more recognition, it is easy to overlook what is already present. It's easy to wake up and immediately focus on what is lacking, what is unfinished, or what has not yet been achieved. But those who reach the highest levels of success do something different. They begin their day with appreciation. They train their minds to see abundance instead of scarcity, to focus on what is working instead of what is missing. Gratitude is not about ignoring challenges or pretending that struggles do not exist. It is about shifting perspective. It's about recognizing that even in difficult times, there is something to be thankful for. It is about understanding that focusing on blessings does not mean denying problems. It means refusing to let problems dictate one's entire state of mind. The most successful individuals have learned that gratitude has a direct impact on success. Studies have shown that people who practice gratitude consistently experience lower stress levels, improved mental health, and greater resilience. When the mind is trained to look for the good, it becomes stronger in the face of adversity. Instead of seeing obstacles as roadblocks, grateful people see them as opportunities to grow. Instead of feeling defeated by setbacks, they recognize the lessons within them. But gratitude is not just about what it does for the mind. It is also about what it does for the heart. It creates a deep sense of fulfillment that success alone cannot provide. There are countless people who have reached the top of their industries, earned wealth beyond measure, and yet still feel empty inside. Why? Because success without gratitude leads to a life of constant striving, never feeling like anything is enough. But when gratitude is practiced daily, it allows a person to feel joy in the journey. It helps them appreciate the steps along the way. It allows them to find happiness not just in the destination, but in every single moment. This is why successful people prioritize gratitude first thing in the morning. They understand that the way they start their day sets the tone for everything that follows. If they begin with stress, negativity, and a focus on problems, their entire day will be filled with tension. But if they start with gratitude, with a heart full of appreciation, they carry that energy into everything they do. Some write in a gratitude journal, listing 3 to 5 things they are thankful for each morning. These do not have to be grand or life-changing. It could be something as simple as appreciating a warm cup of coffee, the quiet of the morning, or the opportunity to begin again. The key is to focus on the positive, to take a moment to pause and reflect, and to fill your heart with thankfulness. Gratitude can be expressed in countless ways. It can be as simple as the warmth of sunlight through the window, the support of a loved one, or the opportunity to pursue your dreams. It can even be as basic as waking up to another day filled with possibility. Some practice gratitude through prayer or meditation, taking a moment to connect with something greater than themselves and acknowledging the blessings in their lives with humility and appreciation. Others express gratitude outwardly, sending messages to a friend, a mentor, or a family member to let them know they are appreciated. A simple thank you, a word of acknowledgement, a note of kindness. These small acts of gratitude have a way of rippling outward. They strengthen relationships, deepen connections, and foster an environment of positivity and success. Gratitude is not just a feeling. It is a habit. It is a discipline, something that must be cultivated intentionally every single day. And when it becomes a habit, it transforms the way a person sees the world. Consider the difference between someone who starts their day in gratitude and someone who starts their day in frustration. The first person wakes up and immediately reflects on what they have to be thankful for. Their heart is light, their mind is clear, and they move through the day with a sense of peace and purpose. They are more patient, more resilient, and more confident. The second person wakes up and immediately focuses on stress, the problems they have to solve, the things that went wrong yesterday, the difficulties they anticipate ahead. Their shoulders are tense, their mood is irritable, and they carry negativity into everything they do. The circumstances of these two people may be identical, but their experiences will be entirely different. Why? Because gratitude is a choice. It is a decision to focus on the good, to acknowledge the blessings, and to cultivate a positive state of mind, no matter what is happening externally. Some of the most successful and influential people in the world have spoken about the power of gratitude in their lives. Oprah Winfrey has often said that keeping a gratitude journal was one of the most transformative habits she ever adopted. Tony Robbins begins each day with a priming exercise where he focuses on deep appreciation for the people and experiences in his life. Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest individuals in the world, has stated that he wakes up every morning feeling grateful just to be able to do what he loves. These individuals did not wait until they were successful to practice gratitude. They became successful because they practiced gratitude. They understood that success is not just about external achievements. It is about internal alignment, mindset, and perspective. Gratitude is the key to fulfillment, but it doesn't always come naturally to everyone. The human mind is wired to focus on problems, to anticipate danger, and to dwell on what is wrong. That's why gratitude must be practiced daily. It must be cultivated like a muscle, strengthened through repetition, and reinforced through consistent action. One of the simplest ways to develop gratitude is through reflection. At the start of each day, take a few moments to ask yourself, what am I grateful for today? Who in my life do I appreciate? What small blessings have I overlooked? Write them down, speak them aloud, feel them deeply. another powerful practice is to express gratitude directly. Thank the people around you not just in your thoughts, but with your words. Let them know you appreciate them, show kindness, acknowledge their efforts. This not only strengthens relationships, but also reinforces a mindset of abundance and appreciation. And finally, shift your perspective. Instead of focusing on what is missing, focus on what is present. Instead of seeing problems, see possibilities. Instead of dwelling on difficulties, recognize the strength that has been gained through them. Gratitude has the power to change everything. It shifts energy. It creates momentum. It brings joy and peace, even in the midst of challenges. At the end of the day, success without gratitude is empty. But a life filled with gratitude, no matter the external circumstances, is a life of true abundance.so. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, before the demands of the day pull you in 1,000 different directions, take a moment, breathe deeply, reflect on the good, focus on what is right in your life, give thanks. Because gratitude is not just something successful people do, it's something that makes them successful. It's a way of seeing the world, a way of living, a way of creating a life that is not only filled with achievement, but also with deep, lasting joy. Now, before the distractions of the world take hold, before emails flood in, before social media demands attention, successful people take time to move their bodies. They understand that exercise is not just about looking fit or staying healthy, it's about cultivating the energy, discipline, and mental clarity needed to conquer the day ahead. Most people wake up feeling sluggish, their minds clouded with grogginess, and their bodies stiff from hours of sleep. They reach for coffee, hoping caffeine will shock them into wakefulness, or they scroll through their phones, allowing their first moments of the day to be consumed by information overload. But those who consistently perform at the highest level do something different. They get up and move. They wake up their bodies with intentional physical activity, whether it's a full workout, a short stretching routine, a brisk walk, or even a few minutes of yoga. They know that motion creates energy, and that energy fuels success. The way a person starts their morning determines how they will feel throughout the day. If they begin with sluggishness, they will carry that sluggishness into everything they do. But if they begin with movement, if they activate their muscles, increase their heart rate, and get their blood flowing, they will generate the energy and focus needed to tackle challenges with strength and clarity. Science backs this up. Exercise releases endorphins, the body's natural feel-good chemicals, which boost mood, reduce stress, and increase motivation. It also enhances cognitive function, sharpening focus and improving memory. Studies have shown that even just a few minutes of movement in the morning can lead to greater productivity, better decision-making, and a more positive mindset throughout the day. Successful people understand that their physical health directly impacts their ability to perform at their best. They know that their body is the vehicle through which they achieve their goals. And if that vehicle is weak, sluggish, or fatigued, their ability to succeed is compromised. That's why they make movement a priority, not an afterthought. This doesn't mean they all spend hours in the gym lifting heavy weights or running marathons. Some prefer high-intensity workouts, pushing themselves through intense training sessions. Others favor gentler movement, like stretching, yoga, or tai chi. Some take morning walks, using the time to think, reflect, or listen to inspirational material. The method varies, but the principle remains the same. Movement is essential. Many of the world's top performers have well-established morning exercise routines. Richard Branson, the billionaire entrepreneur, swears by early morning exercise, claiming it boosts his productivity and mental clarity. Oprah Winfrey incorporates movement into her mornings, whether it's a hike, a run, or a strength training session. Former U.S. President Barack Obama made morning workouts a non-negotiable part of his schedule, knowing that physical fitness helped him handle the immense stress of leadership. It's not just about physical strength, it's about mental resilience. Exercise trains the mind as much as it trains the body. It teaches discipline, consistency, and perseverance. It forces a person to push through discomfort, to embrace challenge, and to develop a mindset of determination. And those qualities extend far beyond the gym or the running track. They apply to every area of life. They develop a habit of conquering difficulty before the day even begins. They prove to themselves before anything else that they are capable of effort, that they are willing to do hard things, and that they have control over their actions. This sets the tone for the rest of the day. When they encounter challenges at work, in business, or in their personal lives, they approach them with the same resilience they build through movement. Now contrast this with someone who wakes up and skips exercise. They start their day feeling tired, their body remains stiff and sluggish, their mind foggy, slow to engage. They move through their day lacking energy, feeling lethargic, and struggling to stay focused by the afternoon. They crash, unable to sustain momentum. They rely on caffeine, sugar, or artificial stimulants to keep going, but these only offer temporary boosts, followed by inevitable crashes. The difference between these two people is profound. One has created natural energy through movement, while the other is constantly fighting exhaustion. One has trained their mind to push through discomfort, while the other struggles with motivation. One has strengthened their body to support their ambitions, while the other allows their health to decline in the background. It's not about time, it's about priority. Many people say they don't have time to exercise in the morning, but successful people make time. They understand that their body is their greatest asset, and they refuse to neglect it. They wake up earlier if necessary. They schedule their workouts as non-negotiable appointments. They recognize that investing in their physical well-being is an investment in their success. Even for those with the busiest schedules, there are ways to incorporate movement into the morning. It doesn't have to be a 1-hour gym session. A 10-minute bodyweight workout at home, a quick jog around the block, a series of stretches to wake up the muscles. Any kind of movement is better than none, and the benefits extend beyond the individual. People who exercise in the morning tend to have more patience, more emotional stability, and better relationships. They are less likely to be reactive, less prone to stress, and more equipped to handle difficult situations with a level head. Their increased energy allows them to be more present with their families, more engaged in their work, and more capable of leading others. Furthermore, morning exercise builds momentum. When a person starts their day with a victory, when they push their body, break a sweat, and accomplish something challenging, they carry that sense of achievement into everything else. They approach their tasks with greater confidence, make healthier choices, and maintain a higher level of focus throughout the day. Throughout the day, successful individuals feel a sense of control over their lives, knowing that they have already taken proactive steps towards self-improvement. And here's the truth: movement in the morning is not just about physical fitness. It is about creating a mindset of action. It's about proving day after day that effort leads to results. It's about taking charge of one's own energy rather than waiting for motivation to strike. Imagine waking up each morning and knowing that, before the day has even started, you have already accomplished something important. Imagine feeling strong, alert, and ready to take on whatever comes your way. Imagine carrying that energy into your work, your relationships, and your goals. That is what successful people do. They do not leave their energy to chance. They do not allow fatigue to dictate their actions. They do not wait for the perfect moment to prioritize their health. They move, they strengthen their bodies, they sharpen their minds, and in doing so, they set themselves up for success, not just in fitness, but in every aspect of life. Because when the body is strong, the mind is strong. When the mind is strong, the will is strong. And when the will is strong, there is nothing that cannot be achieved. So tomorrow morning, before the world demands your attention, before stress and obligations consume your thoughts, take a moment to move, wake up your body, energize your mind, and step into the day with strength, focus, and purpose. Because success is not something that happens by accident. It is something that is built day by day, habit by habit, movement by movement, and it all begins with the simple decision to rise and move forward every morning before the noise of the world consumes their thoughts, before they face the pressures and responsibilities of the day, successful people take time to set clear goals. They do not wander aimlessly into their schedule, hoping for the best or reacting to whatever comes their way. Instead, they take control. They intentionally decide what they will accomplish. They chart their course before stepping onto the battlefield of life. Clarity is power. Those who start their mornings with a strong sense of direction achieve far more than those who drift through their days without a plan. The most successful individuals understand that time is their most valuable asset, and they refuse to waste it. They know that if they do not set their own agenda, the world will set one for them. Emails, messages, and unexpected interruptions will dictate their day unless they take control from the very beginning. When a person wakes up without a plan, they are vulnerable to distractions. They move from task to task without intention, reacting to whatever comes their way instead of setting the pace. When people are unsure of what is truly important, they allow urgency to replace importance. They react instead of act, but successful people start their mornings by defining their priorities. They ask themselves, what must I achieve today to move closer to my goals? What task will create the greatest impact? What actions will bring me the highest return on my time and energy? This is not just about making a to-do list. It is about setting meaningful objectives. It is about identifying what truly matters and committing to it. Many people write long lists filled with minor tasks, things that keep them busy but do not bring real progress. Successful people do the opposite. They focus on the essential. They prioritize the tasks that will push them forward. This habit of goal setting is not just a strategy. It is a mindset. It is the mindset of intentionality, discipline, and purpose. It is the recognition that success is not random. It is built through deliberate action, through choices made day after day. Consider the difference between two individuals. One wakes up without a plan. They check their phone, respond to messages, get pulled into social media, and react to whatever demands their attention. They spend their day putting out fires, handling distractions, feeling busy but never truly productive. By the end of the day, they are exhausted but unfulfilled. They worked hard, but they made little progress toward their bigger goals. The other person wakes up with a clear sense of purpose before checking emails or diving into distractions. They take a few moments to set their goals. They define the three most important things they must accomplish. They visualize their success. They commit to their plan. And because they have direction, they move through their day with focus and efficiency. They do not waste energy on insignificant tasks. They do not allow distractions to derail them. By the end of the day, they have made tangible progress. They feel accomplished. They are moving forward. This is the power of setting goals each morning. It creates momentum. It gives a sense of control. It transforms chaos into order, uncertainty into clarity. Many of the world's most successful people swear by this habit. Elon Musk, despite running multiple billion-dollar companies, is known for his intense focus on goal setting. He breaks his day into 5-minute time blocks, ensuring that every moment is spent on high-impact activities. Warren Buffett attributes much of his success to his ability to focus on a few essential goals rather than spreading himself too thin. Oprah Winfrey, Jeff Bezos, and countless other high achievers start their mornings by defining their goals. Goal setting is not just about career success. It applies to every area of life: health, relationships, personal growth, and financial well-being. Without clear goals, progress in any of these areas becomes slow, inconsistent, or even non-existent. But when goals are set daily, they create a sense of direction and accountability. A person who wants to improve their health doesn't simply hope to eat better or exercise more. They set a specific goal. Today, I will drink 8 glasses of water. I will complete a 30-minute workout. I will avoid processed foods. A person who wants to strengthen their relationships doesn't just think about it vaguely. They set a goal. Today, I will call a family member. I will write a heartfelt message to a friend. I will show appreciation to my spouse. A person who wants to grow financially doesn't just wish for wealth. They set a goal. Today, I will save $20. I will research a new investment opportunity. I will work on a skill that increases my earning potential. By setting goals each morning, successful people turn aspirations into actions. They do not just think about success, they create it. But setting goals is not enough. There must also be commitment. There must be discipline. It is easy to write down a goal. It's much harder to follow through. That's why the most effective goal setters go a step further. They create systems. They eliminate distractions. They hold themselves accountable. Some successful individuals use visualization. They do not just write down their goals. They imagine them completed. They see themselves succeeding. They feel the emotions of accomplishment. This mental rehearsal strengthens their commitment and increases their belief in their ability to achieve. Others use accountability techniques. They share their goals with a mentor, a coach, or a trusted friend. They create deadlines, track their progress, and measure their results. By making their goals public or quantifiable, they add pressure to follow through. Then there are those who start their mornings by reviewing their long-term vision. They remind themselves why their goals matter. They reconnect with their deeper purpose. This fuels their motivation and keeps them committed, even when challenges arise. Without goals, people drift. They live reactively, allowing circumstances to dictate their actions. But with clear goals, they live intentionally. They take charge of their future. There is an undeniable power in waking up with purpose. It changes the way a person approaches their day. It infuses their actions with meaning. It eliminates wasted effort. Imagine starting every morning with a clear roadmap, knowing exactly what you need to accomplish. Imagine waking up with a sense of direction and purpose, ready to take on the day with focus and determination. This is what successful people do. They set goals, take action, and follow through. Imagine knowing exactly what must be done to move forward. Imagine feeling a deep sense of purpose and determination before the day even begins. That is what successful people experience. They do not leave their success to chance. They do not wait for the right moment to take action. They wake up, set their goals, and move with intention. This habit is available to everyone. It does not require wealth, talent, or extraordinary circumstances. It only requires a decision to start each day with clarity and purpose. So tomorrow morning, before distractions creep in, before the world pulls you in 100 different directions, take a moment, set your goals, define your priorities, decide what truly matters, because success does not happen by accident. It happens by design, and the blueprint is written each morning, one goal at a time, every morning, before the weight of responsibilities presses down, before distractions steal focus, before the rush of daily life consumes every thought. Successful people take time to express gratitude. They understand that gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion. It is a powerful force that transforms mindset, fuels motivation, and creates an unshakable foundation for success. They begin their day not with complaints, not with stress, not with thoughts of what is lacking, but with deep appreciation for what they already have. Most people wake up and immediately start thinking about what they need to do, what they don't have, or what problems they must face. Their first thoughts are filled with pressure, frustration, or negativity. But those who achieve lasting success and fulfillment take a different approach. They start with gratitude before they dive into emails, before they check the news, before they step into the demands of the day. They take a moment to acknowledge their blessings. Gratitude is not about ignoring challenges or pretending that everything is perfect. It is about shifting focus from lack to abundance, from problems to possibilities, from stress to strength. It is about training the mind to see the good, even when life is difficult. Successful people know that their mindset shapes their reality. When they start the day with gratitude, they create a foundation of positivity, resilience, and purpose that carries them through even the toughest challenges. Science confirms what successful people have always known. Gratitude changes the brain. Studies show that practicing gratitude increases dopamine and serotonin, the brain's natural happiness chemicals. It lowers stress, improves sleep, and strengthens emotional resilience. People who practice gratitude regularly are more focused, more optimistic, and more productive. Gratitude creates a mindset of abundance, which leads to greater confidence and stronger decision making. When a person operates from gratitude, they stop seeing obstacles as limitations and start seeing them as opportunities. They become more solution focused, more determined, more resourceful. They attract better relationships, inspire those around them, and navigate setbacks with grace. Gratitude also fuels motivation. Many people think they need to achieve success first and then they will feel grateful. But the truth is the opposite. Those who are grateful first create success faster. When a person focuses on what is good in their life, they develop a sense of possibility. They see how much they already have, which strengthens their belief in how much more they can achieve. Gratitude creates momentum. It turns small wins into fuel for greater achievements. Think of two people. One wakes up and immediately starts thinking about stress. They focus on what is wrong. They dwell on what they don't have. They begin their day feeling behind, overwhelmed, and frustrated. That mindset carries into their actions. They approach tasks with resistance. They interact with people with impatience. They move through the day weighed down by negativity. The other wakes up and takes a few moments to focus on gratitude. They think about their health, their opportunities, their loved ones, or even simple things like the air they breathe, the roof over their head, or the chance to start a new day. They feel lighter, more optimistic, more energized. That mindset shapes their actions. They approach their tasks with enthusiasm. They treat people with kindness. They find solutions instead of dwelling on problems. They carry an energy that attracts more opportunities. This is not about pretending that life is perfect. It is about choosing to focus on what empowers you rather than what drains you. It is about developing an internal strength that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Many of the world's most successful and influential people practice gratitude daily. Oprah Winfrey has spoken for years about the power of keeping a gratitude journal. Every morning she writes down 5 things she is grateful for, a habit that she credits with transforming her life. Tony Robbins, the world-renowned motivational speaker, starts his mornings with a gratitude exercise where he visualizes and deeply feels appreciation for the blessings in his life. Even Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest people in the world, regularly expresses gratitude, reminding himself that his success is built on the opportunities he has been given. Gratitude is not just for billionaires or celebrities. It is a tool available to everyone. It does not require money, status, or special skills. It only requires a decision to focus on what is good rather than what is missing. There are many ways to practice gratitude. Some people keep a gratitude journal, writing down 3 to 5 things they are thankful for each morning. Others take a few moments in silence to reflect on their blessings. Some express their gratitude out loud, speaking their appreciation for life's gifts. Others turn gratitude into action by sending thank you messages, showing kindness, or giving back to others. What matters is not how gratitude is practiced, but that it is practiced. It is the consistency that creates transformation. A person who expresses gratitude once in a while will feel good in the moment, but a person who makes it a daily habit will rewire their mind for lasting success and fulfillment. Gratitude also deepens relationships. When people feel appreciated, they respond with greater kindness, loyalty, and generosity. Successful people understand this. They do not take their relationships for granted. They express gratitude to their teams, their families, their mentors, and even to strangers who contribute to their lives in small ways. This simple habit strengthens connections, builds trust, and fosters an environment of mutual respect beyond personal success. Gratitude creates a sense of purpose. It shifts the focus from self to others, from taking to giving, from ambition to impact. Many of the most successful people do not just achieve great things for themselves. They use their success to uplift others. They are driven not just by personal gain, but by a desire to contribute, to make a difference, to leave a legacy. and that drive often begins with gratitude. Imagine starting every morning feeling deeply grateful. Imagine stepping into the day not with stress or negativity, but with appreciation for the opportunities ahead. Imagine facing challenges with the mindset that every difficulty is a lesson. Every setback is a setup for a comeback, and every struggle is shaping you into a stronger person. That is the power of gratitude. It transforms perspective, fuels resilience, and creates success. Successful people do not just practice gratitude because it feels good. They practice it because it works. It sharpens their focus, strengthens their mindset, and elevates their performance. It turns obstacles into stepping stones, setbacks into growth, and daily life into a meaningful journey. And no matter how much or how little you have, there is always something to be grateful for. And when you make gratitude a daily practice, it will reshape your mindset, elevate your energy, and open doors to greater success than you ever imagined. So tomorrow morning, before stress tries to take hold, before distractions pull you in different directions, before the weight of the world presses down, take a moment, breathe, reflect, find something, anything to be grateful for. Because gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a choice that will change the way you see the world, a choice that will shape your success, a choice that will transform your life, one morning at a time. Success is not an accident. It is built through intentional habits, practiced daily. The way you start your morning shapes your entire day, and the most successful people know this truth. They wake up with purpose, set clear goals, fuel their minds and bodies, and embrace gratitude. They take control of their time, their energy, and their mindset before the world has a chance to dictate their path. If you want to rise higher, achieve more, and live with greater fulfillment, start with your mornings, make them sacred. Fill them with habits that empower, strengthen, and propel you forward. Because success is not found in one big moment. It is created in the quiet, consistent actions of each new day. As you take charge of your mornings, remember that success doesn't happen overnight. It's built through small but meaningful habits. So what habits will you start building tomorrow? Let's keep this momentum going and continue building the foundation for a successful day and life ahead.